Good morning, everyone. It is a great honor to welcome you to the 2019 San Francisco State University Opening Convocation. This event is co-sponsored by the Academic Senate, for which I am chair, and the Office of the President. If you don't know me, my name is Nancy Counts-Gerber, and I'm a professor of chemistry and biochemistry here, and as I said, the current chair of the San Francisco State Academic Senate. I have to say I'm very personally excited to play a part in opening up this celebration at the start of the academic year to all employees, not just faculty, at the university in recognition of the role that faculty, staff, administrators, and student government plays in the success of our students and our university. I hope you enjoyed the reception and the resource fair, and I hope you walked away meeting some new people and gaining a better understanding of the activities and the resources on our campus. Before we get started, I have a couple of housekeeping items. So first of all, if you look at your agenda, you will note that there is a QR code on the back, and if you scan that, it will take you to the event website and a link to the live stream and to the presentation that we're going to show today and some other information. So be aware that that's there. And while you have your electronic devices out, I would ask that you please silence them or turn them off, and that includes our little pesky smartwatches. So if you could take a second to do that, it would be much appreciated. Lastly, we will introduce a number of people to you throughout the event, and please hold your applause until after all the introductions are complete and you're invited to respond. And I am going to take off, but this is my only piece of purple, and I'm going to take it off because it's very hot up here. All right, so with the introductions in mind, I'm going to start us off with the leadership team of the Academic Senate. And oh, there we go, that's me. All right, there we go. Okay, so the leadership team of the Academic Senate is the Senate Executive Committee, or XCOM for short, and they're a dedicated group of faculty and staff who help direct the Senate and ensure a culture of shared governance on our campus. So if we can have the lights raised in the auditorium, and I'm going to invite the members of XCOM to rise and be recognized when their name is called, and remain standing, please. So the 2019 officers of the Senate are Vice Chair Teddy Almanac, and they're all, by the way, sitting right up front here. Director of Forensics, and he's a lecturer faculty in the Department of Communication Studies. Secretary Kim Schwartz is the director of the School of Theater and Dance, and as I said, our wonderful secretary. We have 5 standing committee chairs, and they are Academic Policies Committee Chair Jeannie Stowers, Professor of Public Administration in the School of Public Affairs and Civic Engagement, or PACE. The Curriculum Review and Approval Committee Chair this year is Ellen Hines. She could not be here today, but she is a professor of Geography and the Environment and the Associate Director of the Academic Programs at the Estuary and Ocean Science Center. The Faculty Affairs Committee Chair is also from PACE, Jasper Rubin, and he is the new Director of PACE as well as being the Chair of Faculty Affairs. And so thank him for that double duty, and thank Kim for her double duty as well. The Student Affairs Committee Chair is new to XCOM, and David Alsher, Associate Professor of English Language and Literatures. And the final committee chair is Dylan Mooney from Strategic Issues Committee, and he is actually on the stage today. Dylan is IT staff in the College of Health and Social Sciences, and we will hear from him in a little bit as a Distinguished Staff Awardee. Last, we have a couple of at-large members of the Executive Committee, Tom Thomas, who is the chair of the Department of Management, and Rachel Small, a lecturer faculty in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry. And last but not least, we have 3 San Francisco State representatives to the statewide Academic Senate. Darlene Yee Melankar, professional of gerontology, also in PACE. And if you guys, can kind of give a little wave so people can see you. Robert Keith Collins, associate professor in the Department of American Indian Studies. And Deepinder Sinha, professor of mechanical engineering. So please join me in thanking all of them for their service. Thank you. If I had to identify a theme for today's meeting, I think I would use the Warriors motto of strength in numbers. One of my greatest pleasures in participating in the organization of this event has been working with people from across campus and from all cabinet areas. Nowhere is this more obvious than in the list of people who contributed substantially to the organization of this event. From Administration and Finance, we had Nancy Ganner and Dania Russell. From Academic Affairs, we had Maggie Beers, Andrew Roderick, Aaron Ben, Michelle Raschinger, and Marina Chavez. Luis de Paz Fernandez in the Office of the President, Wendy Tobias and Aaron, and I apologize if I'm mangling names, Elgermis, sorry, Aaron. I call her Aaron and I don't know how to pronounce her last name, I apologize. From Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, Barbara Stein, Mary Kinney, and Nicole Lang from University Advancement, and Jennifer Villarreal from Sodexo. So these lovely people have worked very, very hard to make this event as open and inclusive and engaging as possible, and I would just like to say a personal thank you. So when I came to campus, and yes, I'd ask them to stand, but I think most of them are running around still wrapping things up. So when I came to campus in 1996, I hadn't really heard the term shared governance before. If you'd asked me what it was, I probably would have said something about faculty sharing governance of the university with administration. My first experience with shared governance was through my participation in the University Interdisciplinary Council, which I volunteered because I needed something for my tenure file. I had no idea that the Academic Senate even existed at that point, let alone that this was a subcommittee of that Senate. Over the years, I served on a variety of different committees and ended up as chair from time to time. And much to my surprise, these committees didn't have solely tenure-line faculty on them. We had lecturer faculty, there were staff, there were administrators, and there were even students. And to be honest, meeting people from outside my department and college was the best part of that service. In addition to making change, it is, to me, one of the primary reasons to get involved in shared governance on campus. Eventually, I ran for a position on the Senate myself, largely to try to figure out what was going on and how the university worked and where some of the policies that impacted me and my students came from. Once I started working on the Senate, again, was surprised to see people from a variety of different positions in the university working together to try to improve our campus for all of us, but particularly for our students. While majority faculty, the Senate welcomes representation from across campus and has seats for students, staff, and administrators. Without these people, we would not be able to do our work. Another very important aspect of shared governance are the faculty and employee unions represented here on the stage behind me. The unions in the Senate each have their own role to play in shared governance on our campus, but as with everything else, we are stronger when we consult and work together rather than separately. And last but certainly not least are our students. Our Associated Students as our student governance arm of the university is so important in our work. The Senate desperately wants and needs input of students. How can we make policies and procedures that involve them without that input? So if you know of anyone who would be interested in volunteering any students, please let me know. So my definition of shared governance has expanded over the years to include everyone who has a stake in the success of our university. I've come to think of us as a family, one in which all of us have roles to play, and all of our contributions are important. If any one of us chooses not to engage, all of us are lesser because of it. Hopefully by this point, you're asking yourself, how can I get involved? Faculty, please sign up for the Administrative Search and Service Pool. We got a link on our website and an email went out recently. Consider running for a position on the Senate or a Senate subcommittee. We have committees with a wide range of activities and interests and time commitments that'll match, hopefully, everybody on campus. While there are fewer opportunities for staff involvement, they are out there, and I'm looking forward to working with Sandy Noda and CSUEU to figure out how we can get staff more involved in shared governance on our campus. So please join me in trying to break down the silos that we all recognize are present, and they represent a significant impediment to any efforts to improve our campus. I want to help make this a place that we can all be proud of, and one whose graduates will proclaim to be the best place to get an education that prepares them to be lifelong learners and agents of change in their profession and their communities. So thank you again for your participation in Convocation and for your attention. It is now my true honor to introduce our next speaker. Dr. Lynn Mahoney caught my attention early on in the search process as a person uniquely qualified to lead our university. Her breadth of experience on both the academic affairs and student affairs side of the university promised opportunities to bring our campus together. Her experiences at Cal State LA and Long Beach bring expertise in the CSU that is much needed. So please join me in welcoming the 14th president of San Francisco State University and our first woman president, Dr. Lynn Mahoney.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I should stop now and not even speak. Thank you. A quick observation about universities. There is one thing that is true at every place. Nobody wants to sit in the front. So perhaps we could raise the lights for 1 second and let folks come on down. Somebody has to sit in the front. The teacher in me demands that people come sit up front. This is true at every university. Nobody wants the front. Okay, thank you. Thank you. First, I echo Nancy's welcome to the 2019 San Francisco State University opening convocation. And of course, as my first, this is extra special. Fall convocations present an opportunity to celebrate what we've accomplished, to renew our commitment to our university and to one another, and I particularly liked your comments about that, and to look ahead at the coming year with anticipation and excitement. It is indeed a tremendous honor to serve as the 14th and first female president of this incredible university. As I look at the faculty, staff, and administrators gathered here today, and I think about the others that I've met over the last few weeks, I am acutely conscious of the trust that the Board of Trustees and the Presidential Search Committee have placed in me to work with you and with our civic and community leaders to achieve our visions and aspirations for San Francisco State, our visions and aspirations for our city and our region. Over the last 6 weeks, I have met hundreds of people across many of the university's departments and units. And what have I learned? I have learned that to a person, we are a university of incredibly hardworking people who are deeply devoted to the university, to the community, to the university's mission, to its students, and to its success. The depth of commitment I've heard the last 5 or so weeks has just been really inspiring and overwhelming. At San Francisco State, we have the best jobs in the world. We are an engine of educational equity and social change. We educate America's new majorities, and in doing so, provide upward mobility for our students and their families. They ultimately transform their communities and their regions. Fueled by a decades-long commitment to social justice, we recognize that our work as teachers, as scholars, as staff, and as engaged citizens and community members places us at the center of social change and inclusive excellence. And that's a center that I am thrilled to be amidst now. But we also know that this is not easy work. As the world around us struggles with persistent and growing inequalities, with a resurgence of white supremacist ideologies and violence, with almost daily tragedies linked to gun violence and racial, ethnic, and religious intolerance, we embrace our history and our mission as a place where all are welcomed, where courageous conversations are held, where we acknowledge the discomfort of those conversations, and where we understand that there are no easy answers. In fact, sometimes there will be no answers, but there will always be conversation and there will always be educational opportunities. Last year, we commemorated the student strike of 1968 and 1969, and this year we'll continue that commemoration as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the first College of Ethnic Studies. San Francisco State has been and will remain and continue to be the model site, if not in the state of California, in the entire nation, for courageous conversations, for innovative thinking, and for diversity and inclusion. Yes, we have the best job in the world, but I also know that they're not easy jobs. They're hard jobs. At San Francisco State, we face challenges related to inadequate state funding, an aging infrastructure, economic and demographic changes in the Bay Area that have made our enrollments volatile, and an unprecedented housing crisis. As I look towards the next academic year and the years after that, addressing these will be my priorities. Working collaboratively across the university in the shared governance structures and with civic and community leaders to identify current opportunities and also to seek innovative solutions moving forward. Despite these challenges, we have so much of which to be proud. The last month and through the search process, what a remarkable opportunity it's been for me to learn what you all have accomplished. Our faculty continue to accrue national and international recognition for their teaching and scholarship, and enjoy great success winning grants that support faculty research and undergraduate and graduate education. Last year was an exceptional year for faculty innovation in research, teaching, and service. The many highlights include collaborative efforts like the renewal of the NIH Build Grant, which, though centered in the College of Science and Engineering, involves faculty across campus, and the establishment of the first of its kind Artificial Intelligence Certificate, which was a collaboration between the Colleges of Business, Liberal and Creative Arts, and Science and Engineering, and I think very intimately reflects our commitment to our mission of ensuring that education has a social purpose. This year promises to be equally impressive. In the last month alone, we've received $14.8 million from the NIH for that Build Grant renewal. We have had faculty cited in a variety of media. One of the great joys of my job is every day looking at the media highlights and who's been cited where. And our faculty have been cited in a variety of media for research on climate change, for work with differently abled local school children, for research on the effects of public policy on homelessness, for their philanthropic efforts to raise funding for AIDS care, prevention, and advocacy. And the list goes on and on. I could stand here all morning. We have a truly remarkable faculty, and I'd like to acknowledge them. Much of my administrative career has been driven by an understanding of the immense responsibility we have to educate and graduate our students. They are depending on us, their families are depending on us, and our city and region are depending on us to ensure their successful graduation and post-collegiate achievement. Their success rests on the excellence of our faculty and the dedication of our staff, of which we clearly have an abundance. Last year, the Center for Equity and Excellence in Teaching and Learning, CETL, opened its doors and now serves hundreds of faculty in workshops, consultations, and a new Pedagogy for Inclusive Excellence Institute. Building on the Collaborative Foundations of Excellence initiative, we are launching new first-year seminars this fall to better transition our newest students and put them squarely on the path for graduation. Meeting our student success goals and becoming an even more powerful engine of upward mobility will yet again demonstrate that San Francisco State is a leader in educational equity and social change. Last year saw the creation of an academic master plan that the provost will speak about shortly. The plan reflects months of collaborative work to create a framework for strengthening our academic excellence. I look forward to working with all of you and colleagues from across the university to align all of our planning with the academic master plan. Please join me in thanking Jennifer Summit and all the faculty and staff who worked on the academic master plan. The academic master plan is an absolute model of the kind of collaborative work that we need to do in all of our planning. This year also saw the launch of our first comprehensive campaign, Bold Thinking, and the receipt of 2 historic gifts. Thanks to the generosity of alumnus Chris Larson, his wife Lena Lamb, and Rippleworks, we received the largest gift of a digital asset to any university in the United States. The $25 million gift will support the Lamb Family College of Business through funding of programs in global innovation, entrepreneurship, and financial technology, and will transform both the college and the university through highly networked programs and the encouragement of interdisciplinary pursuits. George and Judy Marcus awarded the university its largest gift of all time, with $25 million dedicated to the George and Judy Marcus Funds for Excellence in the Liberal Arts, and $1.8 million for scholarships to support student athletes. I look forward to working with the San Francisco State University Foundation to build on this momentum and acquire additional gifts to support our work with students. I think the potential there is almost limitless. I would like to thank Interim Vice President Venetia Thompson-Ramsey for her extraordinary efforts and the work of her team on the campaign, which, as of 2 days ago, and we may have more numbers now, which as of a couple of days ago had raised almost $142 million, 95% of our goal. Amazing work. University Enterprises has made incredible progress on our building projects and capital planning. You just have to stand out on Holloway and you can hear the progress being made with great enthusiasm. Our newest mixed-use residential facility recently hosted a topping-off celebration to mark the last beam placed atop the structure. Progress is also being made on the Liberal and Creative Arts Building, and I'm thrilled to announce that plans for the new Science Building are in full swing. Residential life staff and housing staff worked diligently this summer to get students desiring housing off the wait list and into housing. Despite this, several hundred students, at least my last update, could not be accommodated, and many more didn't even try because they knew there was a scarcity. As we look at the regional housing crisis, it is imperative that we create more student housing, we work to make it affordable, and we open up more housing opportunities for faculty and staff. University Enterprises is working on a series of plans that would dramatically increase housing, and we'll share those plans with the community for thoughts and feedback as the year moves on. After years of planning and close collaboration between the Academic Senate, the University Corporation, Capital Planning, Design, and Construction, and various other departments on campus, this fall the university will finally open a new university club. The facility is open for all faculty, university faculty and staff to gather, build and foster across campuses, break down the silos, develop relationships, exchange ideas and information, and I look forward to seeing you at the University Club over the course of the fall. Please join me in thanking Jason Porth, Vice President for University Enterprises, and his team for their efforts. Over the summer, we said a bittersweet goodbye to Lolo Hong as she took a position at the CSU Chancellor's Office. San Francisco State is not alone in its enrollment challenges, and Lola will be an incredible asset to the whole system in her new role. We've been fortunate to quickly hire an interim Vice President for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. Dr. Beth Hellwig brings with her decades of experience in academic and student affairs, centered on the holistic development of students. Her enthusiasm for students and for improving the student experience knows no bounds. Under Dr. Hellwig's leadership, efforts to meet students' basic needs, to better engage our students, and to ensure that we are a welcoming and inclusive campus focused on inclusive excellence will grow. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Hellwig. This fall, as a direct result of student leadership and support, we will open a food pantry in the Cesar Chavez Student Center. Thanks to the efforts of Associated Students, Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, and University Enterprises, our efforts to address students' food insecurities will now have a permanent home. The facility is refrigerated. It's going to be a truly wonderful resource as part of our ongoing initiatives around basic needs. We've also established the very first interfaith, intercultural student life unit in the entire California State University system. This summer, we welcomed our first coordinator of Jewish student life, and we are in the midst of a search for a coordinator of Muslim student life. Last year, we completed a comprehensive campus climate survey led by the Division of Equity and Community Inclusion. The results were released in public forums last April. This year, the Campus Climate Steering Committee will partner with the campus community to act on the findings and recommendations, and I will make this one of my priorities in helping the university address the issues that emerged out of that climate survey. Our Gator student athletes enjoyed great success this year. All 13 of our teams advanced to postseason play, the first time in campus history. Many of our student athletes were honored as All-American and academic All-American honors, and they continue, and this is really important, they continue to achieve a cumulative GPA above a 3.0. They are succeeding on the field and in the classroom. Please join me in thanking Athletic Director Stephanie Shreve-Hawkins and her team for all their work this year. Work continues in administration and finance to strengthen and make more transparent our budget processes. While I am grateful to Governor Gavin Newsom, who awarded the CSU its largest increase in recent history, the sad truth is that the CSU and San Francisco State remain woefully underfunded. Meeting our mission to serve students and be the city's premier public comprehensive university requires additional sources of revenue, such as grants and philanthropy, but it also requires that we work transparently and collaboratively to ensure the most effective use of our state funds. We will continue efforts to develop transparent budgeting practices that ensure that we work together to allocate funding to our key priorities. Thanks to Governor Newsom and the state legislature, for the first time in more than a decade, actually, we will receive more than half of our funding from the state. But that's just a start. I'm hopeful that this year we will all work together, faculty, staff, administration, political leaders, the chancellor's office, to ensure an equally or potentially even more generous budget from Sacramento. This year, we also look forward to welcoming a new Associate Vice President for Human Resources and to receiving approval for a general obligation bond that would bring much needed dollars to San Francisco State to address longstanding and critical deferred maintenance problems. It has been more than a decade since we've had one. It would be an enormous help to us. Please join me in thanking Interim Vice President Jeff Wilson and his team for their work this year. And finally, my immediate promise to all of you. My work as a university administrator has been informed first and foremost by my academic work as a social historian of the United States. I believe deeply in the power of people and in the power of their stories. Much of U.S. history is the story of ordinary people working together to change their worlds, asserting their right to be included, fighting for others to be included, and demanding that the U.S. live up to its principles of equity and inclusion. No university better exemplifies this work than San Francisco State University. And it is your stories that make up that work, that constitute our history as an engine of social change and educational equity. And it's a mission that so deeply aligns with my values, I can think of no place I would rather be than right here, right now. Over the course of the year, I am making meeting you and hearing your stories a priority. I plan on visiting your departments and offices, hearing the good and, yes, the not so good, and learning much more about how I can make San Francisco State University a great place to learn and a great place to work. Please stop me when you see me on campus. Don't be shy. Say hi. Reintroduce yourself, and please reach out. Invite me to your offices. Invite me to your events, and please say hello to me on campus. I hope you can tell just how thrilled I am to be here. On a personal note, this is a homecoming for me. My connections to the Bay Area run deep and long. Almost 61 years ago, in fact, 61 years ago at the end of October, my in-laws arrived here as immigrants from Bolivia and found a welcoming community in which to raise their son. 37 years ago, I boarded my first ever airplane and landed, actually in Oakland, in a very strange country with very strange-looking palm trees and avocados, and developed a tremendous love for the Bay Area. 36 years ago, I met a young, dashing man here, and after 31 years of marriage, I still find him pretty dashing. He's a historian at Cal State Long Beach. You'll have an opportunity to meet him as the year goes on. And 5 years ago, my daughter adopted San Francisco as her hometown. So I cannot thank you enough for welcoming me, not just to San Francisco State, but to welcoming back home. Thank you. As I glance behind me at our Senate chair and the faculty and staff that we'll be honoring a little later this morning, a university is as strong as its people. That makes us one heck of a strong university. Again, I look forward to meeting you, to learning more about San Francisco State University, and to celebrating our successes together. Go Gators. It's now my pleasure to welcome to the podium Provost Jennifer Summit.
Well, good morning. Like President Mahoney, I want to welcome you all to the new year. And with her arrival, the year is off to a very bright start. So a year ago, we announced the launch of San Francisco State's first ever academic master plan. And now, 1 year on, I want to report on our progress and preview what happens next. Many of you have already been directly involved in creating the Academic Master Plan, which we're calling the AMP, as participants in the working groups, as members of the Academic Senate, or as important sources of feedback and perspectives. Those of you who haven't participated yet will have an opportunity this year, because the strength of the result very much depends on broad cross-campus participation throughout the process. From the beginning and at every step of the way, the AMP has been grounded in shared governance. In April 2018, the Academic Senate passed a resolution calling for an academic master plan, and I quote, that guides the university's decision-making and improvement processes around the academic mission of the university. Almost immediately, Senate Chair Nancy Gerber and I agreed to lead the process and began to study best practices from other campuses with successful academic master plans. Following those models, we established a steering committee with representatives from across the university. We also invited academic leaders from the administration and the faculty to co-chair working groups that did the bulk of last year's work. The breadth and the quality of the collaboration has surpassed even our highest expectations. After calling for volunteers from faculty, staff, and administrators, we were overwhelmed by the positive response. In all, we had 140 participants in 12 distinct working groups representing every division on campus. The group set to work addressing a series of questions about student success and engagement, faculty scholarship, creativity and service, graduate programs, and academic degree programs of the future, including interdisciplinary ventures in emerging fields. All of these questions boiling down to one: what kind of future does San Francisco State University imagine for its academic core? The papers the working groups produced reflected a number of common values and visions, starting with a legacy of social justice and equity that has long been the university's hallmark. Developed over long months of collaborative effort, they also captured a strong sense of shared hope, sharpened by San Francisco State's activist spirit, that this planning process will help renew these values and chart a path for our future. The working group papers are collected on the AMP website, along with all of the planning documents and a growing archive documenting the process. That website is sfamp.sfsu.edu, and I hope you'll all visit it, and particularly to read the papers. An energetic plenary meeting in the spring brought all the participants together in new collaborative clusters, and there the core of an academic master plan began to emerge. A draft of this framework will soon be released for campus review, but I can offer this preview at a high level. The master plan as it is emerging is anchored by these defining commitments. First, to our social justice mission, which feels more urgently necessary today than ever before. Second, to the high-quality education, holistic success, and well-being of our students, for whose sake we are all here. Third, to the principle contained in our motto, Experiencia Docet, Experience Teaches, which asserts the importance of original research, engaged scholarship, and active creative expression to our educational mission. And finally, to our responsibility to the great city of San Francisco and our dynamic Bay Area region, for whose benefit we were founded as a public institution working for the collective good. The academic master plan reflects the spirit of these shared commitments. While it is a deeply aspirational and forward-looking document, it is also a highly practical one. Its values will be measured in tangible results, beginning almost immediately. At its core is a series of action steps that were directly proposed by the working groups. These have been integrated and organized by themes, and they will soon be shared with the broader university community, along with a draft framework that grounds them in a broader sense of directions, hopes, and goals. In the coming months, you can expect to have opportunities to discuss and provide feedback on the draft framework, which will also be shared with students, community members, alumni, and other key stakeholders for further discussion and refinement. It's important that the academic master plan reflect the breadth and diversity of the entire San Francisco State community, which extends well outside our campus. After that consultative process, the framework will be revised and refined into a public plan with the action steps ranked and prioritized with clear timelines and metrics for accountability. From there, we expect that the academic master plan will inform and infuse every decision-making process that affects the university's academic core, from faculty hiring and academic program development to the creation of new learning spaces and interdisciplinary structures. Implementing the academic master plan necessarily involves the entire campus, which is why the process has been broadly inclusive from the start. In its next stages, the plan will drive collaborative efforts with campus partners from administration and finance, advancement and development, student affairs and enrollment management, and university enterprises, as we all work together to bring San Francisco State into its bright future. At this stage, I want to acknowledge with gratitude my co-chair, Nancy Gerber, and the Academic Senate, whose commitment to the academic master plan in the spirit of shared governance has made this work possible. I also want to thank President Mahoney, who has embraced and supported the academic master plan from even before the time she joined us on campus. I want to thank the steering committee, the leadership team, and working group members whose thoughtful engagement with the process and its driving questions have given us a powerful foundation. To them and to everyone here today, I invite you to join us in building an academic master plan that is worthy of our mighty mission. It is now my pleasure to introduce 4 new administrators who are joining Academic Affairs and whose leadership will help shape the university's academic future. First, Dr. Amy Sueyoshi was appointed Dr. Amy Tsuyoshi was appointed Dean of the College of Ethnic Studies in April 2019. A faculty member here at San Francisco State since 2002, Dr. Tsuyoshi was previously the Associate Dean and then Interim Dean of the College of Ethnic Studies. She holds a PhD in history from UCLA. Second, Dr. Carmen Domingo was appointed Dr. Carmen Domingo was appointed Dean of the College of Science and Engineering in March of 2019. A faculty member at San Francisco State since 1997, Dr. Domingo was previously Interim Dean of the College of Science and Engineering and holds a PhD in molecular and cell biology from UC Berkeley. And now let me ask that the lights be turned up so I can introduce two new members of the Provost's Council who are sitting here in the front row. First, and may I ask you to rise as I introduce you. First, Dr. Dwayne Banks was appointed Vice Provost for Academic Resources in July 2019. In this role, he oversees academic budget and finance, academic space, and the academic schedule and calendar. He was previously Dean of the School of Business at Our Lady of the Lake University and is the founder and CEO of Health and Social Sector Analysis. He holds a PhD in economics from UC Berkeley. And lastly, Dr. Carlene Mandolfo. Dr. Carlene Mandolfo was appointed Associate Vice President for Faculty Affairs just this month, August 2019, in which role she oversees faculty hiring, tenure and promotion, and faculty professional development, which will include CEDL, the Center for Equity and Excellence in Teaching and Learning. Previously Associate Provost for Faculty Development and Diversity at Colby College, she holds a PhD from Emory University in the Hebrew Bible and is a proud alum of San Francisco State. With them and with all the other academic leaders represented here today, I wish you all the best in this exciting new year. And now it's my privilege to welcome back to the podium Nancy Gerber.
All right, thank you, Provost Summit. The Academic Senate, I think I can speak for us, is looking forward to engaging with the campus around the Academic Master Plan, and I personally look forward to bringing it to the campus community this fall. So it is now my very great honor to introduce the 2019 Distinguished Faculty and Staff Awardees. I would be remiss if I didn't note that the SF State Foundation is providing financial support of $25,000 per year in perpetuity to support the stipends for the faculty and staff awardees, as well as funds for a celebratory reception in the spring and associated expenses. On behalf of the Academic Senate, I would like to recognize and thank the San Francisco State Foundation, Foundation Board Chair Taylor Stafford, and Vice President for University Advancement, Venetia Thompson-Ramsey, for their support. It is so important that we support the work that faculty do on and off campus and recognizing our excellent staff and the role they play in shared governance on this campus. So we have 4 awardees with us today, and awardees, if you could please rise when your name is called and remain standing until all introductions are complete. So our first award was for Excellence in Professional Achievement. This year went to Dr. Zhengwei He, Department of Biology in the College of Science and Engineering. Dr. He discovered 2 gene families essential to plant growth and development and co-discovered a way to potentially increase rice yield by 27%. He has also been working with colleagues in the Department of Chemistry to decontaminate waters with harmful algae. Dr. He was recognized for his research by receiving a prestigious National Science Foundation Career Award. Let's welcome him, or thank him. And you can stay standing. This year's awardee for excellence in teaching by a tenured faculty goes to Dr. Christopher Moffett, Department of Biology in the College of Science and Engineering. Unfortunately, Chris could not be here today, but I'd like you to join me in thanking him for his excellent teaching in the biology program and his dedication to teaching in our general education curriculum through Biology 330, Human Sexuality. Next, the award for excellence in teaching by lecturer faculty was given to Dr. Mark Sigmund, Department of History in the College of Liberal and Creative Arts. Like Dr. Moffett, Dr. Sigmund contributes significantly to our general education curriculum by teaching the history of the U.S. since Reconstruction and the history of baseball, which sounds fascinating personally. The next award goes to Excellence in Service by a tenured faculty member, and the awardee was Dr. Marcia Raggio, and I should have asked you how to pronounce your name, a Department of Speech, Language, and Hearing Sciences in the Graduate College of Education. Dr. Raggio has contributed substantially to her discipline through her work as chair of the Academic and Professional Standards Council of the American Academy of Audiology, among others. She has received recognition for her work by receiving the American Academy of Audiology President's Award and the California Academy of Audiology Leadership Award for outstanding service to the California audiology community. Thank you. And last, but certainly not least, is the awardee of the inaugural Excellence in Service by a Staff Member. This award was proposed by the SF State Foundation as a way to recognize staff contributions to service on our campus. And who better to receive it than Mr. Dylan Mooney from the College of Health and Social Sciences Office and all college IT staff. So Dylan. Dylan has served as a member of the Senate Executive Committee since 2016, and he is a staff representative to the Academic Affairs Budget Advisory Committee and participated in the Foundations of Excellence First Year Experience Self-Study and was an active participant in one of the Academic Master Plan working groups. And as I indicated, he will be chairing the Strategic Issues Committee this year as well. So please join me in thanking these members of our campus community for all their hard work and their dedication to our campus. Now, one of my favorite parts of this event is hearing about the new faculty and staff in our colleges and the library and athletics. So to get us started, I would like to welcome to the podium Stephanie Shreve-Hawkins, who is our Director of Athletics at San Francisco State University, to introduce the new members of the athletic department faculty.
Thank you, Dr. Gerber. And welcome all Gators. And before I get started, I always remind myself, stay to the script, stay to the script. But I see so many people out here, and I want to welcome you all back that we need to get a Go Gators going. So when I say go, you say Gators. Ready? Go. Gators. Go. Gators. Go. Gators. Go. Gators. All right, that's how our gym should sound. That's how all our fields should sound. I love it. So, as President Mahoney mentioned, and welcome, President Mahoney, it's great to have you here. I already feel the energy and the excitement in the room and the campus and everything. In 2018, 2019, Gator Athletics had one of its most successful academic years. All 13 student-athlete programs advanced to postseason competition for the first time in San Francisco State history. Several of our student athletes were awarded with All-American and academic All-American honors. Our students were nationally recognized by various entities for their academic prowess, their participation in community service, their hard work in their respective surfaces, and most importantly, for the grace in which they balance their collegiate lives as student athletes here at San Francisco State. I would like to acknowledge the athletic staff for the support they give in these endeavors, but most importantly today, to honor today the mentors, the coaches who work tirelessly every moment to ensure that our Gator student athletes maximize their overall experience here at San Francisco State. Our coaches, who are an integral part of creating a solid platform for these student athletes to graduate and launch into their future as community leaders. Our coaches who are constantly researching innovative ways to inspire the student athletes physically, but most importantly, cognitively and emotionally. It's with great appreciation and enthusiasm for all of our coaches that I introduce our 10 newest additions to the Gator athletic coaching team. And this includes a few that were hired throughout the 18-19 year. And I believe some of them are here, and some of them are actually at practice right now, getting ready for the fall season. So if I could have the lights go up a little bit, because I believe I see a few in the crowd. Natasha Smith, if you could please stand. I see her in the front row. So athletes do like to sit in the front row. Natasha Smith is our head coach for women's basketball. She brought our team for 18-19 to postseason play. She took, 9 freshmen and was able to turn around a great Gator team. So she was sort of the, we were wanting all teams to get to postseason, and we were a little concerned, and she got us over the edge there with that. Her alma mater is Chico State. We won't hold that against her. So welcome. Our next is Mars Pasache. He's our assistant coach for women's basketball. Could you stand, Mars? So Mars obviously contributing to that success, and his alma mater is University of San Francisco. Again, we will not hold that against him. Our next is Cameron Rowland. Cameron Rowland is our assistant baseball coach, and his alma mater is the University of Nevada. He's been with us for 1 season and will continue on this year. Brittany Cameron is our head women's soccer coach. She was our assistant coach last year, and she's been promoted. She's out on the field right now. They're working hard. We have one of our first events coming up next week. Her alma mater is the University of San Diego. John DiMartini was our volunteer assistant coach last year and has been promoted to assistant coach for women's soccer. His alma mater is San Francisco State. I'll tell him that he got that applaud there. Pedro Osorio is our head men's coach. Again, another example of an assistant coach who's been promoted to a head coach. We are excited about that continuity in our men's program. His alma mater is St. Mary's College of California. Sebastian Carrasco joins us from Argentina. He is our assistant men's coach. Pedro hired him last month, and his alma mater is, here I go with my bilingual, Centro de Estudios y Actividades Físicas. Asaundra Dalton. She is our assistant men's and women's track and field coach. She came in the spring and really helped our sprinters out in a time where we needed a lot of help in terms of emotional support. And so Asaundra came in. She actually got the Assistant Coach of the Year honors for Division II, and she will be continuing on this next year. She is from the University of San Francisco. Taylor Misfeld is our new assistant softball coach. She joins us from Holy Names University, where she was coaching, and she's now here with us. Her alma mater is University of California, Riverside. And last but not least, I played volleyball, so I always say that because I give a little bias to our volleyball program. Nikki Hess is our assistant coach. She's new here, and she joins us from Santa Clara University, where she's also was a student athlete there. And next, we get to welcome. I also, just before I introduce our next presenter, I wanted to thank the entire faculty and staff here at San Francisco State University for supporting our student athletes through their endeavors. If it were not for you, they would not have that tailwind, and a lot of times that core piece that they need from the connections that they make with another person here at San Francisco State. So I appreciate that, and thank you very much. So now please join me in welcoming to the podium Yim Yu Wong, Interim Dean of the Lam Family College of Business.
Thank you, Director Sharif Hawkins. Welcome, President Mahoney, to San Francisco State, and welcome to all of you to the fall convocations. I would like to share with you a few exciting highlights taking place this year. Now, as President Mahoney already mentioned, the college recently received a transformative gift from one of our distinguished alumni, Chris Lawson, his wife, Lena Lam, and the Ripple Works Foundation. Now, this gift is being used with three key objectives in mind. These are to create new pathways to success for F-stage students, to provide our students equal access to new opportunities and resources, and to yield positive impacts that benefits our students, the academic or business communities, or society at large. As the first named college in our university's history, the Lam Family College of Business is named in honor of Lena Lam's family, particularly her father, Mr. Kwan Lam, who escaped war in Cambodia with his family and worked hard to give them the American dream. Mr. Lam's ingenuity, grit, and determination are seen by Chris Lawson as great examples of the positive attributes SF-stage students possess. This generous gift allows us to establish two endowed chairs. The first one is the Lam Lawson Endowed Chair in Financial Technology. The second one is the Ripple Works Endowed Chair for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Additionally, we have established the Lam Lawson Fund for Global Innovation, which includes 5 new ambitious initiatives: the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Initiative, the Emerging and Developing Economies, Financial Technology, Technology in Business and Education, and the Center for Workforce of the Future. All these initiatives will include collaborative, interdisciplinary activities that impact the entire university by welcoming students and faculty from all colleges and disciplines to participate. Now, with our new name comes a powerful tagline. As you may be able to see it on the screen, the new tagline says, "Innovate sustainably, lead responsibly." This tagline communicates the unique kind of business education we offer and helps us to set us apart from our peers. It reflects the essence of our mission and curriculum, which is anchored in sustainable business and responsible leadership principles. It also captures our renewed orientation towards innovation and entrepreneurship. Now, next, I'd like to mention another major event in the college, which is the 6th Annual Women's Emerging Leadership Forum. It will be held on October 11th at our downtown campus on Market Street. If you're interested in it, please check out our webpage. Now, I would like to introduce 3 new staff members in the college: Zuli Alaya, MBA Executive Cohort Coordinator; Dominic DiCarlo, Graphic Designer; and Danny Tipton, Career Service Advisor. I understand that they're all now currently occupied by their other duties. So I want to welcome all three of them to the college. And I might also want to mention that all three of them are our proud Gators. Now, the Lam Family College of Business also welcomes several new faculty members. I may start with Dr. Xiao Yun He in accounting. Dr. He earned her PhD from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. Her research specialties are market efficiency, earnings forecasting, and financial intermediaries. Dr. Chen Hanhu in economics. Dr. Hu earned his PhD from UC Davis. His research interests are international trade, international finance, and development economics. Dr. Edward Apik in management. Dr. Apik earned her PhD from Simon Fraser University. Her academic interests include international career mobility, biculturalism, and career success. Dr. Seung Ha Jan in marketing. Dr. Jan graduated from the University of Texas in Dallas. His research interests are marketing analysis, advertising strategies, consumer research, and choice models. Dr. Chen Hyun Lee in economics. Dr. Lee graduated from UC Santa Barbara. His research interests are economics of education, applied microeconomics, and LGBTQ economics. Please join me in welcoming all these new faculty members. The Lam Family College of Business is positioned to take on the new future, and along with our staff and our faculty members, we will be opening new chapters for the college. So at this point, I would like to welcome my colleague, the Dean of Graduate College of Education, Dr. Cynthia Grisic, to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. President Mahoney, Provost Summit, and colleagues, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the Graduate College of Education, happy first day of school. It's one of our favorite days, not only because we are all back together doing the work that we love, but because our student teachers and interns, our graduates and partners in all of our K-12 schools are all going back to school now too. The first day of school marks a time of fresh starts and a deep hope for connection with people, teachers, professors, a principal, a specialist, leaders who will understand you, care about you, and help you learn. This is what we wish for all of you as well. Our best wishes for you also come from us as the founding college of the university. We are now in our 120th year, and you'll see the photo, yeah. You see the photo of Fred Burke and his faculty in 1906 as a reminder of that. In 1899, the State Normal School was founded by Burke. It became the San Francisco State Teachers College in 1921, and my grandma taught here at that time. And in 1935 became San Francisco State College, a liberal arts school and predecessor of who we are today. To this day, educator preparation is a university-wide endeavor. Students come to the college for their licensure after completing bachelor's degrees and subject matter preparation programs in many departments across campus, including the newly designed Integrated Teacher Education Program, or ITEP. The Center for Math and Science Education is a collaboration between COSE and GCOE to recruit and prepare teachers in STEM fields, supported by numerous state and national grants. Our students receive extensive support from the Division of Graduate Studies. Advisors all over campus steer students our way through conversations about careers and callings. Our GE courses and minors in education and special education attract students from nearly every major. And finally, faculty from several colleges teach in our doctoral program in educational leadership. In other words, it takes a university to make a teacher, clinician, or leader, and our college relies on all of you. Our shared endeavor leads to a region-wide impact in every educational area, from early childhood to K-12 and community colleges. As you can see, most of our credential graduates are employed in San Francisco Unified, and we are their largest provider of educators. Graduates of our doctoral programs are university faculty across California and the nation and hold key leadership positions in community colleges, districts, and service agencies. Last year, we recommended 392 candidates for credentials, and they'll be out there along with the educators earning MA and doctoral degrees, serving the thousands of children in the 1,444 schools in our immediate region. There's a lot of good work to do, and together we are doing it. Central to doing this good work is our strong staff and faculty in the college. It is time now for me to introduce new colleagues. In the Teach Advising Hub, we have a new undergraduate advisor, Kimberly Correa, and I think she's here, and are you standing? There she is. Kim will be focusing on all undergraduate teacher pathways. Ms. Correa earned her BA in Christian Ministries and Masters of Education in College Counseling and Student Development at Point Loma Nazarene University, and before coming to San Francisco State, she was a graduate academic advisor in the LEAP program at Point Loma Nazarene. Welcome, Kimberly. Dr. Evra Baldinger, and she's right here, is an assistant professor in the Department of Secondary Education. She earned her PhD in education at UC Berkeley. In joining our faculty, Dr. Baldinger is making a transition from being a middle and high school math teacher for 12 years in San Francisco Unified to becoming a university faculty member. Welcome. And Dr. Anusha Sundarajan is an assistant professor in the Department of Speech, Language, and Hearing Sciences. She earned her PhD. Yes, welcome. We'll go with it. She earned her PhD in speech language pathology at Purdue University. Prior to joining us, Dr. Sundarajan completed a clinical fellowship year at San Bruno Park School District in San Bruno, California. Welcome, colleagues. Thank you, and have a wonderful semester. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium Amy Tsuyoshi, Dean of the College of Ethnic Studies.
Thank you, Cindy. So I'd like to welcome all of you to a new academic year. We have 4 new degrees in the College of Ethnic Studies, a BA in Race and Resistance Studies, and then 3 minors in Critical Mixed Race Studies, Queer Ethnic Studies, and Critical Pacific Island and Oceania Studies. Most notably, minors in the College of Ethnic Studies are GE minors, meaning all the courses in the minor fulfill an area of general education. Thus, if you encourage your students to take their GE in the College of Ethnic Studies, they can pick up a minor degree on the way. I'd like to also invite you to the 50th anniversary celebrations of the College of Ethnic Studies. We have a week-long events planned from October 7th through October 12th. On October 8th and 9th, the strikers have volunteered to actually come to faculty classrooms. So I encourage you to reach out if you're interested in having guest speakers in your class. You're welcome to visit our website, which is, I think, the 50th anniversary, ethnicstudies.edu. The College of Ethnic Studies has 2 new faculty members to introduce. Dr. Jessica Garcia Hernandez. If you're here, please stand. Dr. Hernandez joins the Department of Latino Studies as an assistant professor. She received her PhD from UC San Diego in ethnic studies. Her scholarship centers around working class epistemologies, transnational cultural studies, and FAT studies using ethnographic methods. Welcome. Second, we have Dr. Ponipate Rokolekutu, who will join the Departments of Race and Resistance Studies and Asian American Studies as an assistant professor. Dr. Rokolekutu has a PhD from the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and his research interests are colonialism, post-colonialism, and economic development. He's also one of two hires in our initiative, burgeoning initiative in Pacific Island and Oceania Studies. Please welcome Dr. Rokolekutu as well. I'd like to now invite to the podium my colleague, Dr. Alvin Alvarez, Dean of the College of Health and Social Sciences.
Thank you, Amy. And first of all, I just want to extend a warm welcome to President Mahoney. It is one less search committee I am on. I'm deeply and personally grateful for her presence here. For those of you who don't know about the College of Health and Social Sciences, let me speak to the heart of it. The mission of the College of Health and Social Sciences is to help prepare students to solve the most pressing and enduring issues confronting the well-being of individuals, families, communities, and society. So you can see one of the things that we take deep pride in is that we are a college not only of action, but more importantly, a college of transformation, right? And so to speak to that mission of preparation, I want to share with you, how do you prepare students, right? And one of the first things I learned when I came into this campus in '97 was a very startling kind of smack in the face by a little bit of a senior colleague of mine. And he said, the thing we do the most is the thing we're trained in the least. Let me say that again. The thing we do the most is the thing many of us are trained in the least, and that's teaching, right? And so how do we actually engage in the classroom and prepare the students to have the kind of impact we all have here today? And I just wanted to share with you this singular slide here about a faculty learning community that in partnership with the Metro Academies in our college, we created about 4 years ago. Through the funding of the Chancellor's Office as well as the Division of Undergraduate Education and Academic Planning, we have been creating these faculty learning communities for the tenure track faculty within the college. And the focus for the last several years has been the incorporation of social justice pedagogy in the classroom, so that when students walk into the classroom, not only do they see a new discipline, they see themselves. They see their communities, they see their mothers, their fathers, their histories in that classroom. That's what that pedagogy is about. Equally important for all of us is that we use that opportunity to build on the strengths of new faculty orientation, and we strive to create a community that actually is a community, that actually builds upon and helps to retain all of our greatest investment, which is our faculty. I'm very pleased to announce that this is no longer a College of Health and Social Sciences initiative. For the first time this year, we are partnering through the generous support of CETL to expand our faculty learning community to all 6 colleges and expanding it to all tenure track within the university. I started off with a mission, and I think the 2 people I'm about to introduce to you, it pretty much exemplifies that mission of preparing our students. First, I want to reintroduce Dr. Jen Reck, Jen is joining the Department of Sociology and Sexuality Studies, but she's no stranger to many of us here. She has been a longtime lecturer for her at San Francisco State and has been since 2006. And many of you probably recognize her because I think last year or the year before, she was actually up here on the podium as the recipient of the Excellence in Teaching Award in 2017. So she is a master teacher who we are very proud is joining us. I just want to say, I notice we clap loudest when we see our own kind of taking a step within the university. And I think we take pride in that because that speaks well of us and what professional development we offer here. So I just kind of noted that as people were clapping. Jen, her areas of interest include criminalization of the homelessness, queer community space, and gentrification. And again, Jen, if you're in the audience, if you could stand or not. Yes, we've already called you out. There you go. I can't talk you up unless people really see you. So, okay. So next up, let me introduce to you Albert de la Tierra. Albert is joining the Criminal Justice Studies program and comes from the Graduate Center at the City University of New York. He is a sociologist. Albert, get up. I love his academic background. He is a sociologist with advanced certificates in critical theory and women and gender studies. His current project is on how street workouts bring attention to men of color in ways that counter racialized surveillance and criminalization, and it is clear he will have a deep impact on our students. Welcome, Albert. At this point, it is my pleasure to invite to the podium my dear friend and colleague, Dean Andrew Harris, the Dean of the College of Liberal and Creative Arts. Andy?
Settle in. Give me a moment. Hope you're comfortable. I hope we actually did refurbish the chairs we said we were going to refurbish. Thank you, Dean Alvarez. It is a delight to see this house so full this year. It's an honor today to speak for the students, the faculty, and the staff of the College of Liberal and Creative Arts. First, wait, they told me how to use this. First, we enthusiastically welcome 4 new directors, and the error on the slide is my own. Karen Rubin started earlier this month as the director of the LCA Advising Resource Center, coming to us from Georgia. Karen, are you here? And Kathy Bruin joins us as director of the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. Kathy, welcome. The ordering of who is speaking at this event is a little different than this year than last year, and so with the indulgence of Interim Vice President Thompson Ramsey and speaking for both advancement and LCA, I'm delighted to welcome our new Senior Director of Development, Bonnie Feinberg, an alum of SF State. And we also welcome, though she started back in October of 18, and I cannot remember a time before she came to us, Lee Chow, our Director of Finance, who you all have worked with before. Lee, welcome. It's been a big year for LCA in terms of philanthropy. With a generous and historic gift from George and Judy Marcus, we dramatically expanded our support of undergraduate research, where 15 students this year will undertake research fellowships and assistantships as a result. We expanded faculty research, where we supported the scholarship of an additional 17 faculty this year, and in creative writing and cinema, in which we are launching searches for 4 new endowed chairs this fall. Our School of Art received a planned gift of $2 million, which will support graduate and undergraduate scholarships, faculty research, and much appreciated studio improvements. Most of that, before anyone thinks that that's actually a lot of money, most of that is going into endowments, so that will support those things forever, or until the stock market tanks, whichever comes first. As well as our Center for Iranian Diaspora Studies, which received a major gift recently, more details of which soon to be announced. I'd like to get ahead of things and go ahead and spill that, but I have learned not to be precipitous. The new LCA building, planned to open in December 2020. It will look exactly like that. And this is my first experience working on a building well, in any way, actually, aside from my kitchen renovations. But working with capital finance at an institutional level. And so I cannot give enough thanks to Vice President of University Enterprises, Jason Porth, and all of the capital planning team for holding my hand on the roller coaster. Thank you. You are all welcome to teach there in the university's first new academic building in 26 years. While you're there, I know we renovated the library, and I know, and I'm sorry, but it's the first new total building, new complete academic building. While you're there, please feel free to stop by and in the lobby or on the second floor or someplace appropriate, see this Northern California Emmy Award, just won by our Becca department this summer. It is now my pleasure to announce the new assistant professors joining LCA. Shadi Abdi joins our Communication Studies department and received her doctorate in Communication Studies from the University of Denver. Her work focuses on international and intercultural communication and aims to enhance our intersectional understandings of Iranian and Iranian-American diasporic communities. She comes to us from Arizona State University. Please join me in welcoming her. Sukanya Chakrabarti joins our School of Theater and Dance and received her PhD from Stanford in Theater and Performance Studies. She specializes in areas of transcultural theater and performance, experimental devised performances, and community-based performance making. She comes to us from Florida State University. Welcome. Ellen Christensen joins the School of Design in Visual Communications. She received her MFA in Graphic Design from the Rhode Island School of Design. She focuses on design's role within culture, commerce, and marketing, as well as its dual potential as a tool of agency and advocacy. She has taught previously at Boston University, Tufts, and Clark. Please welcome her. Colleen Kim Danaher joins us in the Communication Studies Department and received her doctorate from Northwestern University in Performance Studies. Her work brings together critical race studies, visual and material culture, and transnational performance practices. She comes to us from a postdoctoral fellowships at Amherst and Brown. Joshua Davis joins our journalism department in digital and multimedia news production and received his MA in mass communication from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He comes to us as a producer at Vice News Tonight, where he directed and produced the Peabody and Emmy Award-winning documentary, Charlottesville, Race and Terror. He has also worked at National Geographic and the New York Times. Please welcome. Ashmi Desai joins the Communication Studies Department, teaching conflict and public dialogue. She has her doctorate in communication from the University of Colorado at Boulder, where she was most recently a postdoctoral fellow. Her research explores connections and disconnections between dialogic communication, cultural representation, conflict, inclusion, power, and inequity in discourses. Please welcome Ashmi Desai. Ashley Gimbel Larson, an alumnus of San Francisco State, comes back to our Beckett Department in News and Sports Broadcasting, and she received her doctorate in mass communication from Arizona State University. She studies broadcast television news, audience effects, and new media, and particularly American and international media coverage of terrorism. She comes to us most recently from Rutgers University. Welcome. Elizabeth Hunter joins our School of Theater and Dance in Performance Studies and Theater History and received her PhD in Theater and Drama from Northwestern University and an MFA from New York University. Her research and teaching interests are in digital culture, immersive technology, and global performance history. Please welcome Elizabeth Hunter. Rosa Sungju Park joins the School of Cinema and Sound Design and earned 3 MFAs in Visual Communication Design from Seoul National University, in Visual Arts from the University of British Columbia, and in Digital and Media from the Rhode Island School of Design. Her research and work have been situated across a wide spectrum of art and design contexts, ranging from visual communication design to interactive sound installations. She comes to us from Florida Atlantic University. Welcome. Teresa Pratt joins our English department in sociolinguistics in the spring and received her PhD in linguistics from Stanford University. Her research connects the social meaning of variation in interaction to broader community-wide patterns of linguistic variation. She comes to us from the University of Duisburg-Essen, where she was a postdoctoral fellow in the Department of Anglophone Studies and is there now until she comes in the spring. Welcome anyways. Leslie Quintanilla joins the Department of Women and Gender Studies in Indigenous Feminism and Gender and Sexuality in the Global South. She received her doctorate this summer in Ethnic Studies with a graduate certificate in Critical Gender Studies from UC San Diego. Her research and teaching include interdisciplinary examinations of cultural studies, women and gender studies, and environmental science studies, and particularly transnational border activisms at the US-Mexico border. Please welcome Leslie. Jeremy Reed joins our philosophy department this spring. He earned a PhD in philosophy from the University of Arizona. His research focuses on ancient Greek and Roman philosophy, especially the political philosophy of Plato and Aristotle and their views of non-ideal constitutions, about which I've been working on something funny to say, and yet there is nothing funny anymore to say. He comes to us from a postdoc at the University of Maryland at College Park. Please welcome Jeremy. Bethany Sparks joins our School of Cinema and Sound Design and received her MFA in Cinematic Arts from the University of Southern California, where she most recently worked. Her work involves researching the use of sound to enhance immersive storytelling in virtual and augmented reality experiences. Please welcome Bethany Sparks. Whitney Taylor joins our political science department in comparative politics. She earned a PhD this summer in government this summer? Maybe last summer, I'm not sure. In government from Cornell University. Her research examines contestation of political and legal rights in Colombia and South Africa and the patterns and strategies of legal mobilization in different national contexts. Please join me in welcoming Whitney Taylor. Saskia Van Kampen joins our School of Design and Visual Communication and received her Master of Design from York University. Her pedagogical research is in methods of teaching first-year studio courses, resource building for beginning design students, and first-year studio course curriculum development. She comes to us from the Ontario College of Art and Design. Please join me in welcoming Saskia. It is now my pleasure to introduce and invite to the podium Debbie Masters, University of Librarian. Thank you.
Oh, I got moved already. Okay, so that allusion to the academic building, first academic building in 26 years, and I'm like, wait a second, isn't the library an academic building? And I've been admonished, it's not new. And I thought, well, it sure looks new to me. So I am very pleased to introduce two new library faculty members, neither of whom are able to be with us today. First one is Morningstar Padilla. She will start September 16th as a senior assistant librarian. She will serve as the library faculty liaison to the departments and programs of art, museum studies, theater and dance, American Indian studies, Latino studies, German, and Spanish. Won't be very busy, I don't think. Her highest degree earned is an MAS in Master of Library Information Science with a First Nations curriculum concentration from the University of British Columbia. She also holds an MA in Community Development from Clark University and a BA in International Studies from Portland State University. Her most recent professional position was as an Indigenous Services Librarian at Dalhousie University in Nova Scotia in Canada. Previously, she was an assistant librarian and archivist at the UBC Museum of Anthropology. Her areas of research and academic expertise and interest include Indigenous cultural heritage, information policy, and knowledge organization. Melissa Seeley will also start September 16th as in the rank of Senior Assistant Librarian as our Scholarly Communication Librarian. It's a brand new role for us. In that role, she will have a lead role in supporting the library's CSU-hosted institutional repository, ScholarWorks, and will serve as a leading resource on issues including open access, fair use, authors' rights, alternative publishing models, and open educational resources. Her highest degree earned is a Master of Library and Information Science from the University of Western Ontario in Canada. She also holds a Bachelor of Arts in English from Northern Michigan University. Her most recent professional position was as a scholarly publishing and systems librarian at the University of Michigan Law Library. Previously, she was an adjunct faculty member of Information and Media Studies at the University of Western Ontario in Canada, where she created and taught the online Scholarly Communication and Open Access Publishing course for the MLIS program. Her academic interests include open access and open data, community-owned publishing, experiential education, and Indigenous intellectual property rights. Thank you to both of those. It's now my pleasure to invite to the podium Carmen Domingo, Dean of the College of Science and Engineering.
Welcome, everyone. Bienvenidos. And I'm the last presenter, almost. So, oh, wait, did I just go backwards? Yes, I did. So I just wanted to first start by talking just briefly about two new programs in the College of Science and Engineering. This was briefly mentioned by President Mahoney. The first one is this graduate certificate that's in collaboration with our college, as well as with LCA and business in ethical and artificial intelligence. And it's gotten a lot of press, and we're the first, I think, in the country to offer this, and I think it's a reflection of the values of our institution, so super excited. Another area that we're expanding is in data science. This is a huge need in the workforce. The mathematics department is offering a master's in science and statistical data science that'll start this fall. The School of Business, or the College of Business, has had a program in Masters of Science in Business Analytics that started last year.
And very soon, computer science will have a program in data science and AI. And so it's an exciting time to bring all these programs together and really address some pressing needs in the biotech and tech fields. We're super excited to be working on a new academic building. I still regard the library as a new academic building, and it inspires me because one of the key goals of this new science building is to make it outward facing, much like the library, to make it a welcoming space where all of our students on campus can use it and learn about science and technology. So we're super excited about moving forward with this project. Also mentioned earlier was a new, not a new program, but a program that was established in 2014 called SF Build. It's brought over $32 million to our campus to really embrace and enhance the sciences in a way that makes it very inclusive for all students interested in this field to succeed. It's brought us, awareness about how we can address things like stereotype threat, to make sure that every student, regardless of their background, finds a space in our science instruction so that they're successful. I would now like to introduce our new faculty. The first is Henry Boteg, who is joining the math department as an expert in applied mathematics. His expertise is in scientific computing and molecular chemistry. He will be teaching courses in linear algebra, numerical analysis, partial differential equations, and emphasizing in computational methods. Welcome, Henry. Next is Dr. Erin Bray, who's joining the Department of Earth and Climate Sciences as an assistant professor. She received her PhD from UC Santa Barbara and did her postdoctoral work at University of Colorado and UC Berkeley. She was previously an assistant professor at Cal State Northridge. Her work is in hydrology and geomorphology, and she seeks to answer critical questions about how environmental changes affect river processes. In her first year, she'll be teaching courses in environmental water resources and geomorphology. Welcome, Erin. Next is Dr. John Michael Brewer, who received his PhD in astronomy from Yale University in 2016. He actually did his master's here, so we're welcoming back to San Francisco State. His research is in exoplanetary science, and this is the discovery and characterization of planets around our stars that are Earth-like. His teaching will be stellar astrophysics. He's multi-talented. He had 2 careers prior to becoming an astronomer. He was a photographer and also a software engineer. So welcome, John. Next, Dr. Jaime Chavez will be joining us in the spring. His master's is from San Francisco State in biology, so he's coming back too. There's a theme here. His PhD was from UCLA. He is currently an assistant professor at the Universidad de San Francisco, Quito, in Ecuador, and his research is focused on understanding the origins of species, ecological adaptation, and the evolution of Darwin's finches. He will be teaching classes related to evolution and animal diversity. Welcome, Jaime. Our next assistant professor is Shandy Huck, who is joining the mathematics department as an associate professor. Her area of specialization is mathematics education, with a particular focus in educating future college, math, science, and engineering teachers. She will be teaching mathematics and mathematics education courses for future teachers from elementary school through college. Welcome, Shandy. Next is Dr. Shah Hamayoun, who received his PhD in computer engineering from the University of Sapienza of Rome, Italy. He previously held a position as a postdoctoral research scholar in the Visual Analytics Laboratory at Tufts University. His research focuses on data-driven discovery of models, where he aims at developing automated model discovery systems to construct and manage empirical models of complex systems. He will be teaching human-computer interactions as well as introduction to programming. Welcome, Shah. Next is Dr. Eric Michael Cohen, who is joining the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry as an assistant professor. Dr. Cohen completed his PhD at the University of Iowa and then a postdoc at UC Berkeley in the Department of Chemistry. His expertise spans organic chemistry, biochemistry, and bioinorganic chemistry. This semester, he will be teaching General Chemistry 1 lecture and lab. Welcome, Eric. Next is Dr. Ornella Matei. Her background is in applied mathematics with applications in material science and civil engineering. She obtained her PhD in civil engineering at the University of Brasilia and then conducted a postdoc at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. She will be joining the mathematics department and will be teaching calculus and partial differential equations. Welcome, Ornella. Next is Dr. Erica Sanchez, who earned her PhD from the University of Washington. While pursuing her postdoctoral work at UCSF, she held an NIH ARACTA Fellowship that gave her the opportunity to teach cell biology at San Francisco State University. Her research interests lie at the intersection of virology and metabolism. As a new faculty member in biology, Dr. Sanchez will study G-protein coupled receptor signaling and will be teaching classes related to virology, microbiology, and inclusive excellence. Welcome, Erica. Next is Dr. Charlie Sakari. She received her PhD in astronomy from the University of Victoria. Her research is in galactic archaeology, which is searching for the oldest, most pristine stars in the universe in order to understand how chemical elements formed and enriched the universe. In fall 2019, she will be teaching general physics with Calculus 3. And she's a huge Star Trek fan, too. I'd like to introduce Isabel Song, who obtained her PhD at the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology in Korea. Before joining San Francisco State, she was the vice president of the Samsung Internet Browser. She was the first female engineering VP and the youngest female promoted to VP in Samsung mobile history. Her research focuses on mobile computing and entrepreneurship. She teaches classes in software engineering and data structures. Welcome, Isabel. Next, I'd like to welcome Jingyi Wang, who received her PhD in electrical and computer engineering from the University of Houston. Her research focuses on big data analytics and cybersecurity in cyber physical systems and distributed resource allocation in wireless networks. She will be teaching classes on cybersecurity as well as computer organization. Welcome, Yini. And our last faculty joining our college is Dr. Yi Wang. She's joining the School of Engineering as an assistant professor in civil engineering. She received her PhD from the University of Texas at Austin. She was previously an assistant professor at Montana State University. Her research aims to improve the safety and operation of multimodal, including autonomous, transportation systems through data-informed decision-making and planning methods. She will be teaching classes on transportation, engineering, and civil engineering. Welcome. I would like to next introduce James Martell, President of the San Francisco State Chapter of the California Faculty Association.
Thanks very much. I just want to offer my thanks and greetings to President Mahoney, Provost Summit, Senate Chair Gerber, and all the faculty and staff who contributed to organizing this event. Union siblings, colleagues, and friends, welcome back. I am James Martell, the chapter president of the SFSU branch of the California Faculty Association, a union that represents both tenured, tenure track, and lecturer faculties, coaches, counselors, and librarians on all 23 campuses of the California State University system. Our union is over 27,000 members strong. I want to extend a special welcome to the new faculty, both tenure track and lecturer faculty. Our union is strong and looking forward to working with you in the coming academic year. I want to quickly give you some idea of the things we've recently accomplished and also things that we're working on for the future. We have just come out of a long period of labor peace insofar as our original contract was extended by 2 years, including a series of raises, the first that we received in a long time. Believe me when I say we had to fight for those raises. The Central CSU administration, not these people here, don't give us anything easily or gladly. Those of you who are in the audience who are returning faculty will have noticed the final installment of that series of raises, an increase of 2.5% in your August paycheck. Collectively, these raises have raised your salaries from between 16 to 19% over the course of the last 2 contracts. The current contract is set to expire at the end of July of 2020. This means that we are entering a new phase of bargaining. All members of the union will be receiving a bargaining survey from the Central CFA office in September. It is vital that you take part in that survey. So if you're not a member, we ask you to join so that you can take part in it, because this is how bargaining teams know what the membership requires. In addition to this, we'll be having on-campus meetings here at SFSU to collectively discuss what we want to see in the next contract. Those of us in the CFA leadership are invested in what we call deep organizing. I recently discovered that I was incorrectly using the words mobilizing and organizing as near synonyms. They are not. Mobilizing means that you get people to turn out at various points in time, say on a picket line or for a photo op, and the rank and file are otherwise not really listened to or engaged with. Organizing, by contrast, means that you give the rank and file the authority to be part of decision-making, wherein their voices and ideas are regularly and systematically included. To this end, we have been working really hard in this chapter to create a thorough departmental representative system in addition to our chapter executive board. Each department at SFSU will ultimately have 1 tenure track rep and 1 lecturer faculty rep. These representatives collectively serve as a way for communication ideas to go from members to executive board and then on to the central union office. Although this system is not entirely complete, there are still departments without 1 or both reps. It is already working beautifully. I can't tell you how many fantastic ideas and practices have come out in the departmental rep system already, some of which I brought up to the central union. The reps meet regularly with one another and also with their own folks in the various departments. I'll soon send out an email as the semester starts with a list of existing department reps, as well as those departments that do not yet have reps. And if you're in a department without reps and are interested or know someone who's interested in serving in that role, please do not hesitate to join this group. This is the eyes and ears, the voice and power of our union in action. We need and want your ideas, your energy, and your voice. Another issue to bring up is that the CFA has been lobbying state legislators for higher budgets for our campuses. As those of you who are returning faculty already know, the CFA successfully got the state legislature to add several $100 million to the budget that the CSU itself asked for. Some of this money is directly earmarked for new tenure track faculty hires. Some of it is for more sections to improve student time to graduation. Some of it is for more counselors, a desperately needed addition, and I would add there's especially a need for counselors who are themselves tenure or tenure track. These extra monies allow us to begin to recover from a long trend of dire budget cuts that have cut us to the bone. It is our hope that some of this money can be used for lecturer conversion to tenure track jobs and also to improve the lives and working conditions of our faculty and students in general. Finally, I want to stress that our union is very committed to fighting all instances of institutional racism and sexism on this and other campuses. We believe that our social justice mission is of a piece with the bread and butter issues that we negotiate for. We truly believe that to be strong, our union must attend to all of its members and ensure that all of them, especially women and faculty of color who historically have received the worst treatment, are treated with respect and dignity. We will be running a series of workshops this fall and spring called Interrupting Racism. I urge you to attend one of these sessions in the coming months. The point of this and other workshops is not to accuse people and make them feel bad about themselves. The point is rather to learn how to negotiate our pathways forward in a way that benefits and includes everyone. This work, along with protecting academic freedom, bettering the lecturer-faculty working conditions on campus, and working with students to improve student experience on campus are the main issues that we are working on this year. So by way of ending my talk, I've sort of started a tradition that I would like to invite you with me, and you guys too, in doing a union clap. It's a very simple exercise that builds up solidarity. You start slapping slowly in unison, and then you start to pick up speed and end up clapping fast. Like I said, administrators, staff, everyone is welcome to join. So here we go. Ready? Thank you very much. It is now my pleasure to introduce my colleague, Sandy Noda, who is the president of the SF State Chapter of the CSU EU.
Good morning, President Mahoney, Dr. Gerber, Provost Summit, Vice Presidents, Deans, Administrators, faculty, staff, students, and guests. Many of you already know who I am, but for those of you who do not, my name is Sandy Noda, and I am the current president for the San Francisco State Chapter of the California State Employees Union. First and foremost, I'd like to thank President Mahoney, Dr. Gerber, members of the Academic Senate, and the President's Office for inviting me to speak today. It is an honor and privilege to be the voice for the staff. Before I continue, I'd first like to thank Vice President Jeff Wilson and Vice President Jason Porth, Nancy Ganner, Henry McCoy, Ellen Lowe, Erica Jackson, Paul Asper, and many of my colleagues and friends who helped with this year's of staff years of service program. As I said in the past, it is still a work in progress. I'm hopeful and confident that the university will continue this tradition. I'd also like to thank both my friends and colleagues at the Student Health Service and the employees who are in the audience today who not only came out to hear President Mahoney speak, but to also show their support for our campus community. For many years, Convocation was for the faculty, and I finally feel as though staff are being recognized and respected as an integral part of the campus community. On that note, I ask that you please encourage staff participation in university events. Continue to appoint staff to university committees. The university benefits by having a staff voice as part of the shared governance process. As we search for a new Associate Vice President of Human Resources, it is important that you come to the campus forum, listen to the candidates, and provide your feedback. And just as a FYI, the forums are going to be on Monday, Thursday, and Friday, from 1:30 to 2:30, on Monday in Library 121, and on Thursday and Friday in Seven Hills. In addition, we also want and expect the best for our students, and in order to continue to attract the best staff to make that happen, we need to work together on streamlining the hiring process. Employees shouldn't have to wait as long as they do to go through the hiring process. Likewise, employees who have been here for years shouldn't have employees hired after them make more money than they do. The issue of inversion needs to be addressed, and we are looking forward to having collaborative discussions. We also want what is best for our employees. First and foremost, please thank the staff for their hard work. Without the staff, we would not have a university. I also ask that you take time to read and understand the various union contracts. If you have questions, the unions can help provide clarification. Remember that union activists are all volunteers. Be thankful of the union's hard work. And a special thank you to my union leadership team and stewards who devote and volunteer their personal time to help our union. While not always evident, the work that unions do helps to make the university a better workplace. Lastly, please support AB 369, our STEPS bill. The CSU is the only state agency that does not provide step increases. It has made it through the Assembly with bipartisan support and is scheduled to be voted on by the Senate later this year. If you have not already done so, please send your support letter to your senator today. On behalf of CSUU, welcome to the new academic year. I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you for having me here today.
Before I conclude, Nancy noted it takes a village to have major university events, but every village needs a chief for a particular event. So I'd like us all to really just give our applause and thanks to Nancy Counts-Gerber, for whom without this would not have occurred. As I said earlier, a university is as strong as its people, and I don't think there's been any better testament to the strength of our people than today, from the introduction of our new faculty to the honoring of faculty and staff to the words of our union leadership. We are as strong as our people. And yes, challenges will occasionally seem overwhelming, particularly in our current national climate. But when people work together, and what we heard today over and over again, I think were affirmations of inclusion and collaboration and shared governance. So I'm confident, again, a university with this strong a people working together can innovatively and patiently continue to address the challenging problems of the 21st century and continue to meet our enormous obligation to our students, their families, and our region. And I say again, I can't overstate this enough, the tremendous enthusiasm I have for getting to know all of you, learning more about this university, and working collaboratively to be the best place we can be. So with that, have a wonderful opening fall semester, and thank you again for attending today.